Welcome to LexAI, your go-to channel for everything AI. Here we test the latest AI tools, models, and platforms to see what actually works, from AI video generator and image tools to productivity app, automation, and powerful new AI workflow. I break everything down with real demos and step-by-step tutorials. So if you want to stay ahead of the AI wave and discovering the tools that can make your work easier, faster, and more creative, you are in the right place. Subscribe to LexAI and let's explore the future of AI together.
Everyone keeps talking about AI assistants, but most AI assistants still have one big problem. They can answer questions, they can brainstorm ideas, they can write content, but the moment you actually need them to do real work, you still have to open another app, click through menus, export reports, copy data, paste it back into ChatGPT. It's like having a really smart assistant that can't actually use your business tools. Well, that just changed. Omnisend now connects directly with ChatGPT and Claude using MCP, which means your AI assistant can actually interact with your email marketing account instead of simply giving advice. Today, I'm going to connect it, test it with real prompts, build an email campaign, analyze performance, and see if this is actually the future of AI-powered marketing. Let's jump in. If you've been hearing the term MCP everywhere lately, here's the simplest explanation. Normally, ChatGPT only knows what you tell it. With MCP, AI can securely connect to external tools and actually work with your data. Instead of saying, here's how you could analyze your campaigns, it can actually analyze your campaigns. Instead of suggesting audience segments, it can help build them. Instead of explaining email marketing, it can actually help you manage it. That's exactly what Omnisend has added. Now ChatGPT or Claude becomes a real AI assistant for your Omnisend account instead of just another chatbot. And I think that's a much bigger shift than people realize. For years we've been asking AI for advice. Now AI is starting to work directly with the software we already use every day. Let's connect everything. Inside Omnisend, I enable the MCP connection. Then inside ChatGPT, I connect my Omnisend workspace. The setup only takes a few minutes. Once everything is connected, I don't need to open the Omnisend dashboard every time I want information. Instead, I can simply ask questions naturally. For example, give me a snapshot of my Omnisend account. Within seconds, ChatGPT tells me how many subscribers I have, how my audience has grown, when my last campaign was sent, and the overall health of my account. Instead of clicking through multiple dashboards trying to find information, everything is available inside one conversation. That's already a huge time saver. Now let's see what this AI assistant can actually do. Instead of asking simple questions, I'm going to give it real marketing tasks. First prompt, what were my 5 best performing email campaigns during the last month? Within seconds, ChatGPT breaks down revenue, open rates, click-through rates, and subscribe rates, but the interesting part isn't simply seeing the numbers. It also explains why certain campaigns perform better than others. That makes the data much more useful. Next, I ask something I normally spend quite a bit of time thinking about. Analyze my customer list and recommend 3 audience segments I should create. Instead of generic marketing advice, it recommends segments based on the actual data inside my account. That immediately feels more valuable than asking a chatbot that has no access to my business. Finally, I ask for a complete account health assessment. Within a few seconds, I receive a report highlighting campaign cadence, automation coverage, audience engagement, and opportunities to improve future campaigns. At this point, it doesn't really feel like chatting with AI anymore. It feels much closer to having a marketing consultant who is already familiar with my business. Now let's build something. Instead of manually opening different pages inside Omnisend, I simply tell ChatGPT I want to launch a campaign announcing my newest AI video. Within seconds, it drafts the campaign, suggests multiple subject lines, creates preview text, recommends the most appropriate audience, suggests the right customer segment, and even points out small improvements before sending. The impressive part isn't that AI writes emails, we've had that for quite a while. The difference is that the AI already understands what's happening inside my Omnisend account. It has context, it knows my audience, it knows my previous campaigns. That makes the recommendations much more relevant. And here's something else that's worth mentioning. This isn't limited to email marketing anymore. If you also run SMS campaigns, Omnisend recently reduced its SMS pricing to just $0.007 per message. For businesses sending thousands of messages every month, even a small difference in cost can make a noticeable impact. Lower messaging costs mean you can communicate with more customers while keeping your overall marketing budget under control. That's especially important for growing e-commerce businesses that rely on both email and SMS to drive sales. I think this changes something much bigger than email marketing. For years, AI has been great at giving advice. It could answer questions, write content, suggest strategies. But when it came time to actually do the work, you still had to leave the conversation and open another application. That's exactly what MCP changes. Instead of constantly switching between ChatGPT and multiple dashboards, the dashboard comes to ChatGPT. You stay focused on the conversation while your AI assistant works with your actual marketing data. And that becomes even more valuable if you're running an e-commerce business. Omnisend integrates with platforms like Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, and Wix, so it fits naturally into stores that are already up and running. You don't have to rebuild your workflow from scratch or learn an entirely new ecosystem. Everything connects to the tools you're already using. If you're just starting your business, there's also a free plan that supports up to 250 contacts and 500 monthly emails, giving you enough room to build your first campaigns before upgrading. Another thing I really appreciate is the customer support. If something doesn't work the way you expect, Omnisend offers 24/7 support, and according to the company, the average response time is around 4 minutes. For marketers, store owners, agencies, and creators, that means spending less time trying to figure out software and more time actually growing your business. That's where I think AI assistants become really exciting, not because they're replacing marketers, but because they're removing the repetitive work that slows marketers down. One thing that often stops businesses from changing email platforms isn't pricing, it's migration. Most people don't want to spend weeks rebuilding automations, recreating templates, importing contacts, or worrying that something important might break. That's another area where Omnisend tries to simplify the process. If you're moving from another email marketing platform, their migration team can handle the transition for you. They'll move your automations, your email templates, your customer lists, your sign up forms, and your existing workflows. According to Omnisend, the migration is provided at no additional cost for eligible paid plans and is typically completed in around 5 days. So instead of rebuilding everything yourself, you can continue focusing on your business while their team prepares the new account in the background. And because Omnisend is also positioned as a more cost-effective platform, many businesses can end up reducing their ongoing email marketing costs after making the switch. That removes one of the biggest barriers that normally prevents businesses from trying a different platform. After testing Omnisend's MCP integration, I don't think the biggest feature is writing emails. We've had AI writing tools for years. The biggest change is removing friction. Instead of opening another dashboard every time I need campaign data, I simply ask. Instead of manually digging through analytics, I let my AI assistant summarize everything. Instead of guessing what audience I should target next, I get recommendations based on my actual accounts. That's a much more useful way to work with AI, and I honestly think this is where AI is heading. Not replacing software, making software easier to use through natural conversation. The combination of MCP together with Omnisend's e-commerce integrations, built-in email and SMS marketing, migration support, and AI-powered insights creates a workflow that feels much more connected than constantly jumping between different tools. If you'd like to try Omnisend yourself, I've left my link in the description below. You can start with the free plan, connect it to your e-commerce store, and if you're already using another platform, Omnisend's migration team can help move everything over for you. Omnisend is trusted by more than 150,000 brands, integrates with more than 200 e-commerce tools, and according to the company, businesses earn an average of $79 for every $1 spent using its email marketing platform. I'd love to know what you think. If your AI assistant could connect to one business application you use every single day, what would it be? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.